Okay.
Okay, folks, we're going to go ahead and get started here. A lot of people told me that they were going to be here tonight that didn't make it, so we got kind of a small crowd again. But maybe some of them are huddled around their fireplaces or something. It's in the mid-50s here in Lexington tonight. So, and I wonder if you could just introduce yourselves for us and where you're from and.
Sean Foley. I live in Keene, and I've been a resident of the Bluegrass since '91.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome to our humble little group here. We're going to talk about low power communications.
Great.
And the gentleman who is the president of BARS is sitting right there. So. And his club meeting will start at 7:30. So welcome aboard. So to introduce everybody else, we have got David, KB4ESN, and Glenn, AK4HA, Linda, AK4GZ, Brad, WA4HBM. Smokey was here and sitting right about there, KE4IVK. And then over there we have Bill on the right, N4DIT, and JB, WA4WWH.
Smokey's a 6 call.
What?
Smokey's a 6 call.
Yeah, KE6IVK, did I say it wrong?
He said 4.
Yeah, well, he needs a 4 call, but
We
he's
all do. What I do now?
I introduced you as a 4 and I got in trouble and I said, no, he needs a 4.
Somebody did, guy did that last night on the net, called me.
Okay, all righty, first order of business as usual is to set our June luncheon. The last 2 Thursdays in June will be the 18th and the 25th. And even numbered month is at Denny's, right? Now, am I getting that right? Because I screwed it up last month.
Yes.
So we'll be at Denny's. Linda, do y'all have any preferences between those two? Okay. I'm kind of leaning the 18th. Is that okay with everybody that wants to would want to attend the lunch? Okay, so it'll be June the 18th at 11:30 at Denny's, right up here. Okay, well I have right here a copy of our permit to go to Heil Farm Park Saturday, June the 6th. The permit's made out to Mike from Louisville, AG4EP. The times are 10 a.m. to 6. We're not going to get the keys to open the gates. I think there's enough room, at least for this first run. I think there's enough room for us without going through the fences. Most of you have probably seen the pictures that Brad and I took when we were out there, and I think there's enough room there. If you want to go beyond the fences, you can, but you have to walk. There's no way to take a vehicle past the barn there without having a key to the gate. But I don't really want to be responsible for a city key like that. And I have to go over and get it on Friday and pick it and then take it back on Monday. So initially, I think we're gonna skip getting the key. Okay, so Glenn, you're gonna be there, right? Mm-hmm. You're intending to anyway, if the weather cooperates. Brad, are you gonna come out for a visit?
I think I will.
Okay.
And Roger's going because he's taking Glenn.
Yeah. Okay. So Glenn and Roger and probably Loretta, right?
No.
No, not Loretta or you, right?
No, they're going somewhere else.
Okay. Okay. Well, just like the meeting tonight, a bunch of people have told me that they're interested, so we could have a good bit more. David, are you coming?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So you're a definite maybe. Okay. Well, I'm planning to go out.
Where does it go?
Ohio Farm Park, that's a good point. I'm glad that you mentioned that. If you go out Bryan Station, way out in the country, you go over the first railroad crossing, and then you go a little ways and you'll make a right, which keeps you on 57, State Route 57. And that's Briar Hill Road. So you continue out Briar Hill Road, and you'll go across the railroad tracks a second time, and then the next thing you come to is Royster Road comes in from the right. And after you pass Royster Road, and you start looking on the left for the entrance to the park, there's two entrances. The first one is the one you want. If you end up at the second one, you'll go up in there and you'll see archery ranges. That's not where we're going to be setting up. We're going to be setting up at the first entrance. Okay. Now, if you wanted to take Royster Road from Winchester Road, you just take Royster Road all the way till it dead ends into Briar Hill, and then a right, and then a left. So, glad you mentioned that, David. Any other questions? If the weather's not good, we've been talking about the 13th as a rain date. So, if the weather's good enough for you, just go on out. And what you'll do is you just follow, it's just sort of a little gravel road, and you go over a bridge or two, right, Brad? And yeah, it's better if you have a truck or an SUV, but a regular car can probably make it. And then that'll just sort of end. You'll have a big area for parking on the right, and then on the left you'll see the barn, the porta potties, couple trees. There's one of those signboards there with maps and stuff, and then picnic tables, and that's just where we're going to be set up.
Didn't we find water there too?
Yes, there's a water fountain, and then there's also places like where you could fill a bucket or wash your feet or whatever. It's well water, obviously, but so yeah. And if you want to go up into the park, you can walk up there. There's gaps in the fence, okay? But without keys, we can't take vehicles. I don't know how well they mow, beyond this barn area. So, but you're welcome to walk up. And actually, if you go through the fence, you will go. The elevation goes a little higher. So, I think Mike may want to go up in there a little ways, and so we'll see. So okay.
Just a few trees?
Well, 2 or 3. I don't remember. You can look at the pictures. I think what I may do if there's going to be a whole bunch of us is that I'm going to set up over in that parking area, and I'll just tie my inverted V off on the fence, so I won't need any trees, and then you all can have the trees. But if you want to go deeper in the park, you have to go a long way before you get to any more trees. It's mostly cleared, so alrighty. Okay, well, while we're on the subject of field work, who else has been doing anything? Glenn, have you and Roger gone out and done anything?
I haven't done anything for 2 months other than work on code.
We did go one day out to Shiloh,
When?
Roger.
Oh, yeah, but that was before.
And, what's his name from Roger too? Well, Chris was there.
Yeah. Well, that was before. Yeah. So we probably talked about that at the May meeting a little bit, but you couldn't make it because of your code thing. Okay. So, well, while we're on that subject, tell us about your code class.
I made it.
Congratulations.
Yeah. A lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hardest thing I think I've ever done. I'm too old.
Well,
you know,
Well, you can tell people what it was like, I mean, if
Oh.
you were trying to do it in your head.
right, that's my goal, was to learn to copy in my head.
Uh-huh.
And be conversational, just like go on sideband, and sit there and take notes.
Mm-hmm.
And, the hardest part about it to me is I can recognize code, and today can copy the code at a rate of 30 words a minute. But if you stop and take the time and figure out how that groups together in words to form sentences, I've lost it, you know. That transition, that just, and still I have trouble doing that. You know, I'm real comfortable now at 15 words a minute and can copy at 20 words a minute.
Okay. Well, you made a lot of progress pretty fast.
Yeah, that's 2 months, and I spent a lot of time doing it. I mean, I had my head in a code machine of some kind all the time. I had it on my phone, I had it on my computer, and if I wasn't on the air, I was listening. We went on a trip, and I even had it on the bus. I had earphones on, listening to it and working it, and so it paid off for me. I've been accepted into the advanced class,
Oh, cool.
and that starts in October.
Mm-hmm.
I may put that on a little bit. We got a trip to New York about then, so I may start that a little later. But
Is that gonna cause you to miss Monday night meetings again?
I don't know what night it'll be on. Hopefully it'll be on another night. It depends on the instructor what night. This one, we conducted these meetings on Skype, which made it really, really difficult. Because I don't know whether you've listened to Skype, but it's not all real good, easy to do. It modulates, it'll go clear down to nothing. Well, you know, if you're sending a stream of code, you miss about every other one of them. And there's another program called Voodoo, I think. That's the name of it. And it was as bad. We tried both of them. It was as bad. But anyway, you know, there were so many things that they gave me tips that I never thought about before. Nobody wastes any time there. You don't put your time and effort into anything that you already know how to do. They got programs that help you find out what you know and what you don't know, and you spend your time on those characters. Whatever your problem is, they got programs that help you figure that out, and you can spend your time. I guess that's the biggest thing I learned. If I could say one thing, is don't spend your time on something you already know. Now, how you figure that out is, you know, it's something they really helped me with.
Okay. All righty. Hey, Brad, do you want to talk about your fox hunt thing? I thought that was really, really interesting. I got to hear that yesterday on 147-600.
But it was a little project I wanted to work out and see if I could make it do, and I think it's going to be okay. Basically, my design for this system was to have a controller that you could use with any walkie-talkie. And it works with an MP3 player. That's the catch, and a DTMF decoder. So you've got two channels with your MP3 left and right. One of them is the data, and the other is the controls with DTMF. And the player plays whatever you want. You can set different tones on it. You can put messages on it. You can put CW on it and audio. And you can make them as long or as short as you want. And the delays can be set as short as long as you want by using an audio editor. So it has no microcontroller circuitry at all in it. Everything is the MP3 player with a special file and a DTMF decoder. And you know, we tested it with a small transmitter. Got about a mile for the range, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be all right. I'm going to get some more information and some help from some of the other hams, and maybe we'll set it up and try it sometime.
Okay. Did you bring the hardware with you tonight?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I can show it.
Okay. All righty. Well, thanks for that report. And that transmitter runs less than 5 watts, therefore it is QRP. Okay. Before we get too far down the pike on field work, does anybody else have any additional plans beyond Saturday? Like, I mean, now that, have you and Roger talked about any other trips?
Yeah, we probably won't do it before, this week, I don't know, maybe we will. I wanna, I've got the MFJ 20-foot vertical telescoping antenna.
Okay.
And you may remember I built a pedestrian mobile pack.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been experimenting with that. And so we maybe get out one day and get in the backyard and
Okay.
try it, see how the newness of that's gonna work out. But I got me a section of shield. It's just, actually what it is it's a shield off of coax, RG8. Is that the bigger one, or is it our?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the bigger one, and so it's about that, it's about
Yeah.
inch wide, almost. And I found a spool that you can wind it up sideways in it, and so I've made me a counterpoise out of that, and I'm gonna drag that down behind me, and links just undo it and pull the length of the cable out, I mean the vertical out to whatever I need, and see how that works.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've been playing with this for a long time, and if this works, I thought it would just be fun to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when Roger gets to feeling better, you're gonna get together and play with that some. Okay. Okay, good deal. Okay. Anybody else have any other plans related to upcoming field work or anything like that? Okay, how about operating? Anybody been on the air and done anything interesting at QRP power levels? I operated CQ WPX-CW over the weekend, and I decided to do a 20-meter single band entry. So that's all I was on. And until about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon, the band was just no good for QRP, or at least it never was when I turned it on. And so, when it wasn't good, I didn't waste my time. But about 2 o'clock yesterday or so, all of a sudden it just exploded. And so I ended up having almost 100 contacts. Would have had 100 if I'd put a little bit more effort into the front end. And I saw where I worked a couple new countries. So I think I have 106 countries running QRP now. And I got my thanks.
I'm gonna start that.
I got my certificate. The ARRL will issues QRP DXCC certificates. They don't have all the endorsements, 150 and 200 and stuff like that. But and you don't have to have QSLs for that. All you got to do is just send them a list of the countries that you've worked. It's done on the honor system.
I worked France, Russia, and Cuba.
Okay.
This just one afternoon.
Yeah. Well, start writing that down. Get yourself a,
I'll put it on it's on my blog anyway.
Okay. Yeah, and make yourself a list so that you keep track of it, and
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that.
yeah, because they'll add up fast. Now we're kind of getting out of we may be on the downside of the sunspot cycle, but still, it's
Still pretty good.
yeah. Okay, how about new antennas? Anybody doing anything, either antennas for home use or portable use or anything like that? Have you,
Yeah.
I had a question for you, but have you done anything with that loop that
Yes.
you had? Okay.
Yeah, I've used it at the house.
Oh, okay.
Actually, maybe I was a little more patient with it at home than I was out, out on a morning when I had spent the whole morning trying to shoot an arrow over a tree and I was real tired. But I did better, I've done better with it at home.
Okay, well, tell us exactly what that is.
It's a piece, actually, it's just coax.
Okay,
that loops around and comes together across the variable capacitor.
okay,
That is very high voltage
yeah,
capacitor, because even at low power, less than 10 watts, it's very, very high voltage across that capacitor. And so you need to be real careful about that. But it's very, very, very narrow banded antenna.
yeah.
But the cotton picking thing works as good as any outdoor antenna I ever have used. And I'm talking about it in the basement of my house.
I have heard that. Very high Q,
Yeah.
Very narrow bandwidth, but once you've got it tuned up, it's unbelievable.
And it takes, I really need a 10-to-1 step down crank for it, and I am going to see if I can find that for you. That would make tuning a whole lot better. So you could set that up with your antenna analyzer, get on the frequency you want, and just sit there, crank it in,
Yeah.
and then hook your radio in and go.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's remarkable.
Okay, so you homebrewed that yourself?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
It's the Alex loop.
Alex, okay.
And I would recommend that folks go ahead and homebrew it, because it's not that difficult to do.
Yeah.
There's plenty of information out there to do it, and Alex gets lots of money for it.
Yeah.
I thought it would be I couldn't believe that it was as simple to do as it really is.
Yeah,
Now, there's some that you can get that uses aluminum, you can use aluminum or copper tubing with it, and those, you can put a whole lot more power in. You can run up to 100 watts on it. Again, the problem is the spacing and there's somebody that makes these capacitors that are widely spaced, and you can get those, but he will make the capacitors for you for that. And you have to assemble them, or maybe he assembles them, I don't know, I saw it on YouTube.
okay. Okay, and how about kits, new equipment, new QRP equipment, anybody? Got any new gear?
Well, may I have the floor for one more time? I have another antenna that if I can find somebody get interested in it and help me with it, we'll sit up and do it sometime.
Okay,
It's fed, it's a vertical antenna fed on top.
top fed vertical.
Top fed vertical. And they use these in Iraq a lot, and during the Gulf War. And you feed it at high. I have 40-foot telescoping pole that goes up this non-conductive pole, and the coax goes. The antenna goes down in the center of it to the ground, and it's fed with a real high impedance transformer on top. And you can run a counterport, you can run an L shape off of it. I don't remember what the dimensions of it is, but a certain dimension you set it up and it works on all bands. That's another experiment I want to do sometime.
Okay. And you've got that all set up and ready to go.
I've got it ready to go. It's in a box, ready to go out and do it.
Okay. Okay, good deal. Okay, well, we got about 5 minutes left before Bars takes over.
And I apologize for.
No, that's all right. That's what I want, because we got a small group tonight, and always looking for stuff to talk about. So anyhow, last call. Anybody have anything else? Anybody have any questions about Saturday and what we're doing and how to get there and all that kind of stuff? Okay, well, thank you all for coming, and hopefully see some of you Saturday and also on the 18th at Denny's.